Good morning. Starting off the Sunday, right? Bob said he's got to learn how to fix cars, so we're watching some TV first thing this morning. Just kidding. So what we're actually doing is starting off this fine Sunday morning where we left off yesterday. If you didn't see yesterday's video, go check out yesterday. This is part 2 of chopping up some more of the drag truck. So what we're going to be doing today is finishing up the frame delete on the race truck. We're going to be tubing the rest of the back end, getting everything set up. We're kind of making some jigs right now to keep all of everything square back here, make some measurements a lot easier. So that's where we're starting off. Kyle's over there already notching some pipe. Huge thank you to Bob and Kyle. Who else would do these types of shenanigans on a weekend? Bob, guess how much?
85 pounds.
92 pounds per side. Woohoo!
That's a long way too. Until the frame road gets in there, you're gonna go.
All right. Another 35 pounds. I think Kyle said every bar that he's made so far, everything's only 150 pounds so far. How you making out, Kyle?
Good.
What are we up to weight-wise?
We are at 164.
164. So what's your guesstimation? We still got to put the door bars in. Like 200?
About 200. Maybe a little over 200.
You didn't change the you got to change the title of this this cage.
John Doc delete kit.
I didn't even come up with that. That was Kyle. I know you're watching, John. I know you're scared. You're definitely scared at this point.
Better be.
Oh, that's awesome. We're gonna get a T-shirt. Who thinks that this, when it's all done and complete, the whole cage exoskeleton and a T-shirt on the back? That'd be sweet. Yeah, buddy. That looks cool. Alrighty, guys, moving along. It's actually 3:30 already this fine Sunday afternoon. Me and Bob are actually looking at coilover information for the front and the rear. So we're probably going to end up running a coilover suspension in the front, ditching the factory springs, and doing the same in the rear, obviously, at this point. So making some really, really good progress. We got our man Tommy over here. He's welding everything up. This is how we're basically attaching to the frame. We're gonna end up plating some of that in there, make that look all fancy and nice. Put some webbing in here. Got an X brace going in there. These crossbars right now are just temporary, just to keep everything square. But she is looking good. The 4-link brackets are gonna mount to this. The tubing that we were waiting on coming in, we were waiting for a special tubing diameter to come in for the 4-link bars. We have one bracket kind of loosely on there, so we can rotate that around. This is just loose. So we got to put the other ones on there, put the 4-link brackets on here, and the tubing will probably be in later this week for that to mount those bars. But once we're done with this work for today, we'll probably roll this up and give you guys a little bit better look on how everything is going to look. But oh man, she is looking good. Alrighty, Bob, are you happy?
Yeah, we cut enough.
Are you happy now?
We cut enough off for, for this weekend.
Yeah, for this weekend. So we rolled the axle kind of somewhat sort of where they're going to be. Like I said, the 4-link brackets will welded here. The bars will go there. Brackets on the axle there. Left the back end just a little bit longer so we can figure all the fiberglass mounting points off of there. Probably still get trimmed somewhere around there, but we're going to get the fuel cell ordered up, get all that kind of put together here as well. But any final words, Bob?
Nice transition at the frame. Look at that. Doesn't that look sweet?
Yeah, buddy. So like I said before, we got these little bars here. We're going to merge the frame and weld a section right here of flat plate so it kind of looks like it transitions right into the tubing. All right, look at that.
It's a race truck. John Doc, we're coming.
And then Bob said, "What we're gonna weld another low profile bar here." It's coming together. It's coming together.
This is one of the most requested block ones I've ever seen.
All right, so I gotta get the shocks, right?
Yep. 14-inch ride height on the front.
Yeah, I got all that on my phone, so I gotta get the shocks. You want me to get a battery tray?
Battery tray.
Fuel cell?
Fuel cell.
I'll probably bring up the lift pumps that are gonna get mounted back there,
Okay.
because those are gonna go right next to the fuel cell.
Whatever kill switch you're gonna put back there.
We're going to make sure that those panels look as
We'll have to make a mount for that.
panels on this car. Plus, we always prime and paint every engine bay before we reinstall.
What else?
the engine.
What else? Are you gonna get the parachute stuff,
Yeah.
or do you want me to order? You want to give me?
You can order a parachute. I use Simpsons, which I use.
I'm gonna get 2.
Okay.
So you want me to get them? I'll just
Yeah.
confirm the part numbers with you to make sure that
Yeah.
they're good. Shoot. SHOOT. Shoots.
How you spell shoot? How about C?
CHUTES. Yeah. Greg can't spell.
That'll be edited.
Nah, I'll leave it in. Well, I was saying shoots. That's gonna suck for John. What else? Anything else?
No. You got a seat. You got. No.
You don't need me to order the seat brackets for that seat, right?
No, we're gonna build our own deal for that.
Okay.
There's not a lot of wiggle room.
Okay.
It's just a pain in the ass to get it in.
All right. So what's the plan going forward here? You're gonna finish up.
I'll finish the 4-link up. Get the
Okay.
rear mounted in there, so we're rolling again.
Okay, gotcha.
Finish all the Xing in there.
Right. We still
won't-
got to do the Xing here. A couple other
Some
bars
more-
in
yeah,
there.
Some more Xing up where the 4-link's gonna hook up.
Tig and Tommy's gonna come back and
Yep.
fully weld everything up.
Yep.
You still actually got to mount the cab. We still got to lop off the front cab mounts
Cab
and
mount.
mount that remotely.
Then we'll start mounting the body.
Okay, and then we got to move the pedals.
Yep. Backwards.
So
We won't move them until we get your seat in there.
still quite a bit of stuff. All right.
But definitely good forward progress.
Yeah, I would say that was probably the hardest part of getting everything squared up, right?
Yep. Yep.
All right.
No, the hardest part was talking you.
Yeah. Oh man, Bob's the man. Well, if you guys have a regular cab drag truck and need this, it's all on the computer. It's ready to go. We got Mike over here in the background messing up my audio. Bye, Kyle.
Bye.
Bye, Kyle. Bye, Bob. Thank you, Bob. You're the man. All right. If you guys need anything, you already know where to go. Thank you, Kyle. These guys are the best. We made some good progress. We'll be on the track in no time. All right, guys. Alrighty, so that's pretty much going to wrap up the progress for this weekend on the drag truck. I was actually going through, reading some comments from yesterday's video. I wrote some notes down because I want to go over some of this stuff because a lot of stuff has changed. A lot of people might not be somewhat familiar with the silver truck and kind of where all of that started, landed, and where we're at now with it. So the first thing is, why the heck did we paint the frame? And I think this is going to kind of come up quite a bit. The plans to back half it were not there in the beginning. I really did not want to back half it at this point. You know, I'm glad that we did. I'm happy that we did. You know, it's definitely a little bit more investment with time and everything else, and still back halving it with that heavy axle. But overall, I'm happy. I'm glad we pretty much knocked it out in a weekend. So I'm happy that we did do it. It looks insane. I am super pumped. Like, once those bedsides go on and everything's back there, it's just going to look so much better. I really love the way it looks. But the plans to do that in the beginning weren't there. We were still going to run like a 1 leaf spring. We were still going to put coilover shocks in the back, but just run 1 leaf spring and not 4-link the back. So that's why the frame was painted originally, because of that. So the second thing is, you know, would it have been cheaper to buy the parts and maybe just start with a tube frame truck? So this kind of comes down to, you know, again, the plans of this year. We bought the silver truck for very, very cheap. Very, very cheap. We sold the bed. We used the engine. If you were to add up, let's just say a 48 core transmission, a T-case, those 2 axles, and the cab, by the time I sold the bed, sold other things off of it, and used the engine, if you put a value on that engine, which we traded as a core into, you know, I easily got my money out of this. So technically, I pretty much started with a whole truck, got it cheap enough to, by the end of when we're chopping all this stuff off, get it just as cheap, if not cheaper, than just those couple parts. So I did it smart. Trust me. If you were to bought a $8,000, $10,000 truck and then decided to do this to it would be very unwise. Now, seeing that we got the truck for like half of that, used some of the stuff, sold some of the stuff, the truck pretty much owes me 0. So chopping it up, I could technically care less. So those couple parts are pretty expensive by themselves. So again, the whole goal for this year was to try and, like, we're building a truck. I keep hearing beeping. I don't know what that is. We're building a truck pretty fast, in my opinion. A lot of people will. What is that noise? I'm not sure what that noise keeps. It's I don't know if you can hear it or not, but we're gonna still keep going. The sun is still in my eyes. Anyway, the whole goal for this year, the silver truck was not supposed to be a drag truck. The silver truck was going to be a new work truck for me. A lot of things have shifted, and you guys will be even seeing there's going to be even some bigger shifts in some truck stuff coming up here soon too. We're building a truck pretty quick. The whole reason why I wanted to say leaf spring, there was a lot of other work that needs to get done to still make it to the track this year. So I wanted to try and keep it as simple as possible to try and further speed up some of that process. So, you know, as far as building a whole tube truck, that would have been awesome. That would have been like, but a full tube truck, guys, is probably double the price of what I'm going to have into this, starting from scratch, even just in chromoly material, time designing it, stuff like that. That would have been the ultimate goal, but this is still way under that as far as time and money, and all of that stuff. So the whole goal was to try and get on the track with something fast this year, and this is kind of like the direction that we've kind of went down. Hopefully that explains some of that. You know, the factory axles I have written down here. Again, you know, the time and money, I guess more like the money that I wanted to invest this year, which is still quite a bit to try and get this done in this kind of time frame with, you know, everything that has to go, you know, sorry, let me gather my thoughts here. So the factory back axle, not chopping off the rear those decisions in the beginning were all made in the, you know, time and money department. It's, you know, it's gonna save time not doing that this year. It's going to save money with the rest of the investment this year, not jumping to a 9.5 inch, something like that, because those axles complete are, you know, somewhere in the $4,500 range. You know, I knew it was going to be more time and money to back half it with that. So, you know, we did decide to do the back half, which, you know, we knocked out in a weekend. It's still quite a bit more in material and Bob's time as well. But I'm happy that we did it. It's still going to be awesome, even with the bigger rear. It's going to get us lighter, you know, and when you start getting into this back half stuff and stuff like that, it's really more a weight savings. Now, you're really like bang for your buck on the weight savings is, you know, how much time and money did we spend to really drop how much weight? We did drop a ton of weight. This weekend alone, I think we dropped 400 pounds, and I think Kyle only added 60 pounds maybe with every bar that we put in the back. The big down bars, everything with the 4-link, we only added about 40 pounds. So, I saw another question about why we didn't weigh it factory, which I do regret. That would have been nice, but I still think a factory regular cab is still like 62, 63 to like 7. So we're going to be, we know we have to be under 5,000 for this cage certification anyway. Now that I'm hoping that we back halved it, I'm hoping that we can somewhere land like track ready to roll, maybe 4,500 to 5. I'm hoping maybe we can save a little bit more. We need to do a little weight savings on Greg's part. You know, and that was the whole point of this year. Again, the whole point of this year was to get the truck on the track as soon as possible, and, you know, not dump an insane amount of money. You know, because like you said, the further that you get into all of this back halving and stuff, you really start looking at it, you're like, yeah, I mean, like, we could have just extended the frame and tube and, you know, but anyway. Oh, the last thing is wheelbase and, you know, 4-wheel drive stuff, questions. Personally, it's really just a personal preference whether you wanted to build a 2-wheel drive truck or a 4-wheel drive truck, and, you know, you can argue the wheelbase thing, short bed versus long bed. I like the look of the long bed wheelbase. We are going to be actually changing that slightly. It's not going to be an exact long bed wheelbase. It is going to be slightly different than that. It's not going to be an actual short bed. We already bought the bed sides for the long bed, so we're gonna stick with the long bed. I like the look, and I like the 4-wheel drive thing, and that's kind of, it's just personal preference. I wanted to build a 4-wheel drive drag truck. I didn't really want to build a 2-wheel drive drag truck, and I really like the look of the long bed style truck. So, I think that's pretty much it. So, that's going to do it, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. I appreciate it. I can't thank Kyle and Bob enough. They have just, I mean, the only reason that we are this far and, you know, I have this much input is because of them. So, I probably drive Bob nuts with, you know, he's like, oh, we're going to do it this way. I'm like, oh, well, can we, you know, so thank you to Bob at Coker Chassis and Restoration. Those guys are just awesome guys up there. You know, like, they're letting me come up and film and be involved, which you probably wouldn't get anywhere else. So I'm glad that they're letting me try to, you know, catch some of this stuff. So again, huge thank you to them. If you guys need any kind of chassis work, fiberglass work, race car, race truck stuff, I mean, nothing that they do is, you know, a click order, buy and install. Like, you could do that for some vehicles, but you're never going to get the fitment. He was showing me stuff that maybe I probably should have filmed, but, you know, there were guys that were a little bit heavier that are in race cars, so they you know, bend bars certain ways, do things a certain different way, more of a custom one-off fit that is just looks 10 million times better, functions 10 million times better, and you're never going to get that with, you know, a box install kit. Like, you've heard me say it before, like, Chris Knowlt's truck was a S&W cage kit, and he'll even tell you that it fit like absolute crap, and he had to tweak and bend and nothing fit, and, you know, some of these kits don't even come notched, so it's you know, you might be cheaper off getting it, but then when you see the finished product, you're like, yeah, this is stupid. And a roll cage is a big deal, especially for cars and whatever else. So again, if you guys need anything like that, hit up Bob. He is just the nicest dude in the world, and you guys will not be disappointed. So thank you guys again for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow. Stay tuned for some more big news. This sun, it's really pissing me off. All right, guys, thank you. Hit the like button before you leave. Subscribe if you have not already. I'll see you tomorrow. See you.